It's been one hell of a month in the North Atlantic. I think we first started tracking the clouds that eventually became Erin back on the 8th over West Africa. And now here we are almost 3 weeks later, and there's still surf being ridden from the system.
Oh, come on! Ah!
In between, we saw waves all over the Caribbean, up and down the U.S. East Coast.
There goes third. Oh!
Into Canada, Iceland, Scandinavia, Ireland, the UK, across Western Europe, including all the way back into North Africa. It's going to go down with the other memorable hurricanes like Bill, Teddy, Felix, and Earl. But the difference with Erin is Erin never made landfall. It avoided the Caribbean, shot the gap between Hatteras and Bermuda, then recurved underneath the northeast US and headed off towards Europe. If we had to draw up the perfect recurving storm, Erin just might about be it.
That was worth waiting for. Wow, that was a set.
Waves are firing. We're in an undisclosed location, but we got Tommy Grom, Lucas, all the boys out right now. He's about to kick off. Oh, dude, that was sick. Anyways, it's firing.
Tropical Storm Erin was named on the 11th, and on the 15th it became a hurricane. In less than 24 hours after that, it was a Cat 5 storm, going from 70 miles an hour on Friday morning to 160 miles an hour before noon on Saturday. A remarkable intensification. Now, Barbados was one of the first spots to see surf. This came from when it was still a tropical storm.
Thank you for joining me for your Caribbean surf outlook. While Erin continues its pretty quick track toward the west, we'll see some mid-period swell work in off this. Barbados, for example, sees a really fun shot of surf with favorable winds expected there at key spots.
Now, even with Erin's near-perfect track, no landfalls, there were still some significant impacts to land.
Okay, see, back up, back up.
See all that swell that we're enjoying from the intense storm? It's also hitting places that aren't able to handle all of that energy. Hatteras Island was one of the hardest hits. Wave run up and overtopping of the dunes created major flooding. Unfortunately, something that they're all too used to dealing with. Now, most people would think a Cat 5 hurricane, 160 mile an hour winds, that's going to send the biggest swell that we see during the whole event. That's not exactly the case. There's three things you look at for swell generation: how strong the wind blows, how long it blows, and over what distance or the fetch that it blows. Erin was a very compact hurricane when it was at its strongest. Had a pinhole eye, and those 160 mile an hour winds only extended a few miles out from the center. By the time Erin made its turn north near the Bahamas and started heading north, it was a completely different storm. On its final day, it was a Cat 1. Hurricane force winds extended out 125 miles from that center. That's 4 times the size that Erin was when it was a Cat 5. I'll take a massive Cat 1 over a Cat 5 any day. Look at the buoy 170 miles east of Cape Hatteras. 45 feet at 16 seconds from the south-southeast. And all that's headed straight up towards New Jersey and New York.
That one did not care about the north wind. Let's go.
Hurricane Erin, 2 days of solid surf here in Jersey.
Big short break, slams, couple makes. Never like perfect, but it was super sick.
It never went fully offshore really anywhere, but the first day was like bombing at that spot that we surfed down south that could kind of handle that wind.
You should have told me not like to bring bad boards. I brought 2 good boards and broke both of them.
That's right.
Oh! I missed it.
Crazy waves, some makes, some wipeout.
Don't go. No, don't go. He died, dude.
Set comes rolling in and you said go. I didn't really have much of a choice. You know, everybody's screaming go.
Dude.
It looked makeable at first, and then as soon as I got to my feet, everything dropped out from under me. It was gone.
That was kind of like the sort of narrative of the swell here in Jersey, like super solid, but it never got perfect. It never was like straight offshore anywhere. So it was kind of like we were hunting for diamonds in the rough.
Those northerly winds that were so troublesome for New Jersey down through the Outer Banks, those are perfectly offshore for New York, Rhode Island, and southern New England. And those zones got more than their fair slice.
What do we got? Oh, yeah. Hope you're hungry. Here's the thing with an East Coast swell. Most of the time, you really don't know how big it's gonna be. A big part of that is being wildly over-prepared. You know, you don't know what you're gonna get, and also you might have to change plans. You might not be surfing where you thought you were gonna surf. So many times I've been somewhere and then we've decided last minute to completely change gears. And now all of a sudden you don't need a 3.2, you need a 5 mil. You don't need a 5.11, you need a 7.0. This storm for us here provided 2 good sessions. The first of which was bigger and unrulier with sort of a side offshore wind. It was a bit more rugged. That session I felt pretty fortunate to get a good wave.
Once Erin made the turn to the right and began its recurve heading to the east, it continued to expand in size. This led to days and days of northeast and north swell going back down to Florida and the Caribbean. Florida hasn't seen a run like that in almost a decade.
Hey guys, TJ Hobgood here. Day 11, it's flat. Finally flat. I can't remember a wind window and a swell window that ran for that long.
Wow.
Started off slow, and it just kept getting better and better and better. And just when you think you would wake up and it was gonna be flat, it just kept going and kept going. I think we saw every spot have its moment, and it had its moment for a day or two. So my theory was like, if everywhere's good, find a halfway decent sandbar with no one out, so then you didn't have to worry about anyone on your inside. So that was kind of my theory for this swell.
Oh my God.
So after undergoing extratropical transition on Friday the 22nd, While the waves were still pumping around the northeast, Erin raced off to the east-northeast. But instead of merging with another system or disappearing off into the far North Atlantic, Erin slowed underneath Iceland. And Erin's track slowing up really allowed it to focus the westerly swell, with Ireland as one of the standouts. We're at 20 days since we first started tracking the clouds that became Erin, and there's still bits of swell floating around the Atlantic. Talking with our Wales-based forecaster Jamie Bateman, the last system he can remember that was even close to Erin was over 35 years ago. That was Hurricane Helene in 1988. Makes you wonder, how long is it going to be before we see another one like Erin?
Hurricane Erin. Hurricane freaking Erin, dude. Retire it already. Retire that thing.